Chang Can Dunk is a really good film, but there is one part that I absolutely hated, but it is a spoiler, so I will talk about it at the end with a spoiler warning. This will otherwise be spoiler free. This is a Disney film from 2023. It's directed and written by Jingi Shao, with a cast including Bloom Lee, Ben Wang, Zoe Renee, Mardy Ma, and various others. And this is about a character called Chang. And after being mocked at a party for his apparent inability to dunk, as in dunking a basketball, Chang makes a bet that he can dunk the basketball with a Pokemon card worth $3,000 on the line. Obviously, there's a lot at stake there, and it focuses primarily on this challenge and also his high school experience in general, his relationships with other people, and I think it has the whole package there in presenting a very believable, realistic high school experience while the protagonist tries to overcome various obstacles to achieve this goal. And I enjoyed the experience. I enjoyed the process. I really liked getting to know Chang. I thought he is a really likable character, and that made it very easy to want the best, to hope that he would be able to pull this off. But whether or not he does, I'm not going to say. It could have gone either way. I think there are good lessons regardless of the route they took, and obviously I can't go into too much detail about those lessons, but certainly it looks at determination, perseverance, striving for a goal, regardless of what that outcome may or may not be. The characters are great, very well written characters, really great performances. The pacing of the narrative is great, and everything that was presented felt very believable. The high school environment felt realistic. I think they made a great use of the space there. We also have some good lighting and camera work, some good music. It's a really enjoyable film, particularly for people of a similar age as the protagonists, but for anybody of any age, I think it's a really solid film. And in general, I have been nothing but positive, but I said there is one aspect that I really, really, really hated. And I'm not going to say it ruined the entire film, because it didn't. But I think they made a very poor decision. So this is the last thing I have to say. I can sum up by saying Chang Can Dunk is a good experience, thoroughly recommend it. However, big spoiler warning now, as I'm going to explain the aspect that I didn't like. So huge spoiler. And this is the fact that in the last second, and I do literally mean the last second, they made a terrible decision. At the very, very end, after various obstacles have happened, it seems like Chang is about to dunk. He's about to dunk the ball. And he moves to do it. And the screen goes black. And we don't see it. And I think it's fair to assume that he did succeed. I think that's a fair assumption. But there was no payoff. It's building and building and building and building to this moment. We've developed a connection with this character. We want to see his joy as he succeeds in this. We want to see the crowd's reaction, everybody going wild for him. We need to see that to have a satisfying ending. So yes, we can come to our own conclusions, but they should have played it out. And I feel like they made a really terrible decision because, at least for me, and I feel like I will not be alone in this, they've left us without a satisfying conclusion. Clearly, with this kind of film, they're usually building up to success, and we never got to see that success. And again, it was heavily implied, but they need to show us that. The whole point of a film is to show us. And yes, some films can have open endings, but not this kind of film. At least they could have went on for just another 3 seconds. Show us the dunk, show us the delight on his face, show us the crowd going wild in the background. Literally just another 3 seconds. But they ruined it. So I don't think they ruined the entire film, but the entire film was building up to this one moment, and they cut it short. And that 1 second, that split second change from going from what we're looking at to black, absolutely terrible. So I think they kind of really ruined what could have been a really fabulous, joyful, uplifting ending. And instead they just said, no, we can't be bothered filming the last 3 seconds, make up your own minds. So I hate that. But as I said, the rest of the film, Chang Can Dunk, is a really solid experience.